I've been going to counseling since I was 18, so for 20 years. I was referred to Concord after an inpatient stay at a mental facility, and was referred here mainly because I could get my psychiatric care and my counseling in one place.
In the year 1997, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I was very, very ill. I could barely speak. I could barely write my own name. People thought that I had taken drugs. The psychosis and depression was so deep that moving was exhausting.
When you're on the street for a long period of time, it is all about survival. I was quite feral when I first come off the streets, and really was put back into a society that I wasn't really ready for.
I didn't have a job, and I was bouncing around from couch to couch, and sometimes I didn't even have a couch to sleep on. I was literally at a point in my life that I was ready to just give up about everything.
I have 5 children. I'm a single mom. I've been divorced twice. I had some kids that were sad, angry, mad, and just having general troubles. Getting along with each other, starting to have little troubles at school. Tommy actually went after me. He was in 6th grade, which would be 11 years old. There was always a fight, but he actually physically went after me. My next son down, Jackson, he had some unique issues. He was saying, "I'm gonna kill you," and stuff like that to his younger brother. It was scaring me.
I was the former principal at Westerville North High School, and one thing you learn when working with young people, that they sometimes consider themselves invincible, that you know, they're immune to some of the tragedies that most people have in their lives. But when it happens to one of their peers, it really is traumatic. I forget the exact incident as to how it happened, but it was a suicide, and it was over 40 years ago. And suicide at that time was something foreign to a lot of our young people. And our kids were grieving, they were crying. We couldn't go on with the educational process at that time because the kids needed guidance and assistance. So they sent counselors to our school who dealt with the issue of how do you deal with suicide.
The most significant part of our partnership with Concord is that we're able to have a bridge between where our capacity to offer services for children and their families, particularly mental health and counseling services, can only extend so far. We only have a limited level of expertise. And to be able to bridge over to that next level of expertise by having Concord in your own backyard and a relationship and a partnership with them just means we can do more for our families and our community.
I think having Concord in our schools is the best possible way that we can help our students and our staff in times of crisis or just in general on the day-to-day issues that come up. You never know when something's going to happen and a student or a staff member needs assistance. Families are not the same family unit they used to be. Parents are working, children are on their own more often, and they need some adult guidance or leadership. There's more cases of bullying, I think, with our social media aspects going on now. People tend to say things just because they can say them and there's no consequence for them. So having the counselors there is something that will really help them get through these situations.
You know, kids are great actors and they keep things to themselves. And we don't always see the warning signs until it's too late. And the scars that are created by these situations for young people today need assistance right away. And I'm sure you've all read in the newspaper about the crisis with drugs right now and how many young people are being, connected with this and unable to get away from it.
Issues related to mental health and counseling, they don't know any boundaries. They don't know any economic boundaries. They don't know any racial boundaries. They don't know any boundaries. It just happens. Access to care, I think, is also a struggle point universally for people, regardless of economic conditions.
Many people who come here to Concord don't have the ability to pay for private doctors somewhere else, or their health insurance might not allow for it. This gives an opportunity for people to get the care they need, and without them, we would be really hurting.
We need places like Concord to step forward and offer assistance for these problems. Unfortunately, we don't have the space to do it, and that's what this campaign is all about, to help these young people get through these years of crisis.
I did feel very alone, very stranded, and held back, you know. I thought I had sinned against humanity. I thought that I was worthless, just very discouraged and unsatisfied with life. Whereas the road with Concord, a satisfying life, a happy life.
Concord pushed me to be better and do better and better myself. And it's honestly been one of the best decisions of my life to continue to keep living. And that's what Concord had given me, was that will to want to do so.
I wouldn't have been surprised if we were not all together, because it was spiraling to where I couldn't handle it. And I was so distraught, and, you know, my kids are messed up. And now I see everything falling into place for their lives, and they care about their grades. They care about each other. I finally have seen that.
I don't think I could have survived. I most likely would either be a long-term in some kind of a facility, probably for mental health, or a nursing home, probably by this time, or dead. Yeah.
I've often said that miracles happen in Concord every day, because this is the most professional group of people I've ever worked with, who on a daily basis come to work with one purpose in mind. We're going to make a difference in the life of our client. This campaign is to open more doors and more offices for people in this community, so they don't have to wait the 3 or 4 months. They can get their treatment they need right now.
This expansion will provide 21 new offices, which is still not enough to meet the needs of our community. And there's also, I believe, about 200 people waiting for therapists to help them. So while this will even help, we still need more.
Any expansion, I can tell you from our end as a school district, is welcome. We look forward to seeing how those services can tap into the work that we do with children every day.
With Concord's help, my disability is not this really ginormous problem. It's shrunken down into a ball that I can manage.
If I didn't have Concord Counseling, I would not have progressed as much as I have in the past year and a half. And for the first time in my life, there is a light at the end of my tunnel that I can do this on my own without a counselor or a therapist.